If you want to skip this whole part where I'm talking, there's chapters, so you can boop right away from this, excuse me. And then let's work with this finger here. So that's good size finger, and we want to push that down. I'm just real irritated with this chicken skin problem today. Kind of pissed off at myself, really. I don't know why it's doing this on this paint, but it is. You know, I prefer, since I know what I'm doing, to show you guys the way to get this done and the way to get it done the easiest, and I feel like we're not doing that today. So sorry about that, but let's show you how to deal with this now that we are where we are. How's it going? My name is Brent from Encore PPF and Tint, and today we are going to be installing some paint protection film on the hood of this 2022 Chevy Silverado ZR2. So we're going to be installing on the red part of the hood. A separate video will cover this black part, and this kit is cut out using Encore. And I relearned a valuable lesson during this video. I don't very often come back and redo my intro, but this is such a big, I get wrecked, just wrecked in this video. Like by the end of it, I mean, I don't know if I say it on the video, but I am toast. I sat down and took a break after this hood. That's how bad this hood beat me up. I was racking my brain while I was installing this film, trying to figure out what was going on. Like, how is this happening? We're getting chicken skin. Film's not sticking. It's too slippery. These edges aren't staying down. I mean, it was just so rough. And what's it all boil down to? I use distilled water in my mix instead of the filtered water that we normally use. So somebody went to the store, bought new jugs, which then come with the distilled water in them. If you buy distilled water, and instead of the purified water, and yep, that's a problem. As you will see, that's a problem. And what problem that is that if you're using distilled water, it is the water is so pure that it needs a lot less soap in it. And so what you need, I was running 12 milliliters per gallon in my purified water, and in the distilled water, you're going to be closer to 7, if not maybe even a little bit less. All right, well, hopefully you guys find this video helpful. Let's go ahead and get started on it. So I've already clay barred this hood. So what all did I do to this thing? I washed it, and then I clay barred it. And then we are gonna still, I don't think I did the rubbing alcohol on the edges, so we'll need to do that. All right, let's spray some of this straight rubbing alcohol onto this towel, and then we'll go ahead and wipe down the underneath of this hood and make sure that it's good and clean. See all that dirt coming off? If you try to wrap film around and stick it to that, you're gonna be in for a bad surprise. That film is not going to stick to that. And even if it does right away, it is not gonna stay there. Okay, so I'm just gonna do little sections here, and then we're gonna fold this towel around and get to a little bit cleaner part. Okay, and then back in here, I see that we do have a piece of rubber here that we'll see how this is a kit today. So I don't normally do kits on these, on hoods, but I think that if you're gonna be bulking this hood and not using a kit, oh yeah, nobody ever cleans up in there behind that rubber. This is really gonna need to be cleaned really good. If you're going to be installing a kit, then I would leave the scoop thing on there in the middle of the hood, other cowling, or I don't know what they want to call that piece. And if you're going to be bulking it, if I was bulking this, no questions asked, I'd be trying to take that off. I have no idea what that takes because we did not do that, and we used a kit on that, which fit like okay. Did have to make some modifications to it and do some trimming around some of the edges. Okay, just gonna wipe this down one more time here. Make sure that we don't have any little pieces of hair or lint that fell out of the air onto that. All right, let's see how this goes. Now, I did happen to notice when we were looking in the computer that it's numbered for how to install it. So let's see how that goes. Maybe I'll flash that on the screen real quick. Because as I recall, it was like 1 and 2, and then I think it was all the way across. I can't even remember. But I know it was 1 and 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow that idea, and I can see that we're gonna be hanging over here, and then this little extra here goes right on that corner. So let's line that up really well, and then let's get this lined up well so that this amount of hangover stays the same right here. So we'll go to like right there. And that is going to want to keep popping up, so we're going to add some tack to that. Got about 12 milliliters of soap in my slip solution today, so that's you know, that's a decent amount of slip. Okay, so I'm just doing a swipe and hold to hope that I can get these edges to really stay stuck down right now. And we'll see if by memory from like a couple days ago, if I can remember how to stretch this. I'm gonna guess that it was all the way across. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take it all the way over here. Well, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try lining this up and see how that goes. Let's get a little slip on the surface there. And we'll go ahead and take this across here. And now, I mean, the thing is that this needs to be pulled down to the correct height in order to line this up, or the correct length hanging over in order to line this up. Okay, so that edge is lined up nicely now. And we can go ahead and squeegee this very edge out. And then if it wants us to do this again, I don't know about that. I would prefer really to come back out here and let this pop up like that. Okay, let's try to get some more of that. Tack down. Let's get a bigger squeegee then. Okay, let's get a little bit more tack in there and get this part to go down as well, up a little bit like that. I'm going to do a swipe and hold on that edge to really help get that to stay down, hopefully. Okay, and now what we're going to need to do is bring this down and get this aligned correctly for where this middle up here needs to be. So right there looks good for the center, and then obviously this has to come down some more here. So I'm gonna just go right in here on this face, hold this down the amount that I think it needs to be down. So right there, and I'm gonna squeegee this, just this very center out. and over the edge, and then we'll give that a swipe and hold. And then let's get this part down into place now. Okay. Okay, that looks good. And then I'll get this part tacked down. Like that, and let's get a swipe and hold on that so it doesn't just continue to want to pop up there. And then let's get this part down, just leaving us a little bit of a gap on the back, but we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and try putting this whole face down right here of this, and then we'll take everything else back. Okay, and then you could even add some Tack solution in here, and that'll give us a good corner to stretch away from towards the back if we need to do some stretching towards the back. Let's give this a swipe and hold. Swipe and hold on this one. And then just make sure that you've got that bull nose there pushed out, because it's going to get a lot of tension right there and it's going to pre-tack on you. Okay, this is, I didn't put any tack in this part, so this is easily wanting to pop up. So let's go ahead and get some tack in here. Okay, and then I will come back around and work on this some more. We just need to get to doing some of our other things and getting this on here before we worry too much about these fingers here popping up. Okay, let's get this stuff all pushed down. Let's get a little tack in here. I'm trying not to get any of the tack up and around this, over this bullnose edge here. This is gonna have to come down just a little bit like that, which is actually beneficial because it gets rid of some of that there. And then we can go ahead and squeegee that out. Okay, let's take this part this way, like that, and then let's work with this finger here. So that's a good size finger, and we want to push that down, and then we'll hold it at the bottom. And we're just breaking that up and taking some of it to the left and the right of that area. Okay, let's get this guy down, and then we'll get right back to that. Let's see how that stays down. Okay, more tack is what it wants. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, now let's get a bunch more tack in this, and let's swipe and hold this. And the further we can push this out that way, the better. So leave some of this untacked as well. That just helps break it up. Okay, why did we get this little guy here? Oh, just because it's just coming over the edge. Okay, no big deal. That is all down. Okay, great. Now, let's take a look here and see what we're working with. Okay, everything is seeming like seems like it's going pretty well. Now what we need to do is definitely get this part locked down like we did on the other side. It's like right about there seems like it should be good. Okay, and then we're going to stretch back to this point here. just like that. And I'm gonna let that stuff go over, not 1/8 of an inch, but less than that, maybe like a 1/16. Okay, and I'm kind of gonna let that stuff break loose right here where I had my arm sitting on this. And then we're gonna start to squeegee this out towards my hand here. And let's see what we can do now, getting rid of some of this air, because really what I would like to do at this point is get this part down, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we do need to pull back that way, so let's get this part down because this needs a solid amount of stretch still. Okay, so we're gonna go right back to there, and we're gonna squeegee all of this out like that. Okay, great. And then let's see this finger. So there's a lot of stretching in here that doesn't need to be there, but we do need to get rid of some more of that finger. And actually, I can see here that we've damaged, you know, we left some markings from the stretch in that adhesive, and I don't want that right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift that back up, and then we're gonna relay this back down. So I'm gonna put some tug on this a little bit. Just like that, looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead and squeegee up to there, and then we'll push that down. And then let's get up to this part here, because we want to let go of that a little bit and see if that can kind of come up this way a little bit more. And then let's get a bunch of tack in this. Okay, and that's leaving a distortion in the adhesive right there, so I'm going to bring that back up just right here, and then we're going to go ahead and go up past that. A little bit of a distortion right there too. Let's put a little bit more tug on that. There we go. Okay, there's a minor one there now, and you could fix that by pulling all the way back up to here, but it's so minor I'm not even worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit some tack in this edge and get some of this stuff laid down, because we want to get this down right now because of all the stretching that there was in this area. If this part with the tension on it continues to shrink up, it's just gonna, you're just gonna keep leaving distortions where it keeps popping back up to. Okay, and then this, we're gonna go ahead and just get some in here as well. Okay, now we'll get some more tack in this, and we'll do a swipe and hold. Very interesting install. Never worked on this truck before, and it's, you know, I don't use a lot of kits for hoods ever, so this is just all around different. Okay, let's get this side down, and then we'll come back and deal with this here. Because we're pulled up to this line right here, we can reach in there and lift all the way back up to there, and we don't have to worry about leaving a distortion on the rounded curved line. Although we are going to have a problem here, because that is definitely going to leave a mark. So let's pop some of that up real quick. I don't know, maybe we need to get all of this down. Okay, let's stretch all the way back here. Let's just get this down now, because, well, you know what? Then the other problem we're gonna have is, what if we get some pre-tacking out here? Okay, and if we do get a lot of a stretch mark here, because this is a hard line to stretch from now, which we don't like that, then we're gonna need to pull it back up to right here. Okay, just barely again over that edge. And there unfortunately is a a little piece of black lint, I think. It was under this? Maybe it was on the top. I don't know. I can't see it now. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay, just scratching it with my fingernail, and we'll blow all that off and see if we got it going. Okay. I definitely feel like I have just too much slip in this. I need a little bit less today, but it's already mixed up. We're using it. Okay, let's get this down into place right here. We're basically matching the other side. Okay, so this type of a line there is also going to leave a distortion. So we want that air out of there at least, so it lays down flatter. And then let's see what we ended up with here. Okay, oh, so minor, nothing. We're gonna say that that's not even there. Okay, let's get this side back, and then we'll get that side back, and then deal with the middle maybe? We'll see. But I know we need to get this down. Okay. Squeegee out the bulk of things here. Okay, great. And then let's go ahead and let's see, when that goes in, it seems like oh, you know what? We have to be careful there too. So I'm gonna stay away from that, and I'm gonna squeegee right here, because when we push down on this, we don't wanna leave a stretch line right in here anywhere, but that is on a turn. It might be okay, but I'm gonna stay away from it anyway until we're ready for that area. Okay, and then make sure when you pull this up, you pull it away from the corner that we already tacked down, because you don't want to drag anything through an area that we already pushed down. And all this stuff needs to go over more before you bring it back. Again, this has been tacked down with Tack solution, and we do not want to drag stuff through here. Okay, great. So let's recheck all this up here. Make sure that we got everything. Oh, there's water in here. Okay. So the water had come all the way back down and was resting in here. So let's make sure that we fix that. Okay, we are getting some distortion here. This is definitely too much slip today. Okay, we are going to pull this back up, and I'm going to add tack in there. Because the problem is that when I go back to do my second pass on the squeegeeing, or I squeegee the next squeegee area, it moves the first area just a little bit, which then causes a problem with distortions in the adhesive, because little bits are starting to stick, and they call that chicken skin. So that means I've got too much slip in here today. So let's see. That should definitely fix that problem there. Okay. Getting just rid of the bulk of this. Make sure we're not pre-tacking anywhere and we're still floating nicely. Okay, and let's do this again then. Okay, I'm going to take this all the way back right here, or back further, because it just keeps wanting to run down. Okay, and then this part, remember, go up like that, so we're not dragging through. this area that's already been tacked down. We're taking this stuff back. And so if you start getting that chicken skin, another thing you can do is just squeegee a lot lighter, because that more pressure that you put on it creates it, you know, help shifts the material a little bit if you get too much pressure on there. And that's what we're running into with the chicken skin, is by moving the material a little bit, the little spot where it was stuck down, the little tiny dots where it's stuck down, breaks loose, but stays stuck. And then when you move it, you distort that. Okay, so looks like we're getting, just double checking here, making sure that everything is out of this recess and up over to this top now. Don't want to leave anything behind. Okay, let's get some tack in here and get this edge to stick down really good. And then we'll take care of this part here. Okay, swipe and hold. And that's a tough one to swipe and hold with the black squeegee. It's a little bit too rigid. So we'll swipe and hold with this one here. Okay. You can dry all this off. Make sure that you're not leaving behind any slip solution or distortions. Okay, now I'm gonna just stick with this for now, and let's go ahead and squeegee this part out all the way. So you can see I'm going at an angle like this, and that's just so that I don't drag anything back out into an area we've already tacked down. Okay, let's get this finger down now, and we really want to break this guy up, so I'm just going to take him back nice and slow, little increments, and then we'll go all the way off and swipe and hold. I'm gonna swipe and hold right there too while we're waiting, just to make sure that that's staying down good. And then we'll swipe and hold right there. Okay, and then let's push this stuff over the edge here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and, well, we're gonna get some tack in this edge in case it pops up again. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and stop right there, and let's formulate a plan for what we want to do next. Should we take that side all the way up and then come back to this middle? Let's do it. Okay, so we did not stick all this down on this side because we're not worried about that little finger. The other side seemed to have more fingers. Now let's get rid of, by bringing all this moisture in, we want to get rid of this air pocket, but keep the moisture with it because we need to wet that air pocket area back down, right? We need to drag some water through there. Okay, here we go. Out, out, great. Okay, so I'm going to go from here, I'm going to go along this ridge first on this one, back to there, and then I'm going to bring all of the rest of this. Let's make sure that nothing went over the edge there. Let's go ahead and get our arm back on that and really get any of the big puddles of solution out of there. So we're making sure that we didn't go, that none of this stuff started running down over this edge, and Make sure that you're not pulling this into this area where we've already tacked this down. Okay. And let's go ahead and get this stuff over past this ridge here. Great. And we'll take this stuff the rest of the way. Keep taking it back here. We're getting a little bit of chicken skin right there. So I am gonna lift this back up, introduce, and you have to be careful when you lift this up. Just lift it up. If you put any tension on it, you're gonna make chicken skin somewhere else. Okay, we're just, let's see. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I'm taking all this back up and I'm just putting tack in there. We got it. And that's just coming up so easy. We just have too much slip today, which is kind of surprising, really. Okay, I felt like I felt a piece of dirt or grit right there. If I did, I don't feel it anymore, so. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and squeegee this out again. Along that ridge to start. And then we'll do the same thing again. Bring this stuff up. Remember, this has to go away from the corner. Okay, let's get this recessed now. Oh, much better. Yeah, that's just, there's just too much soap in there for this today, which is interesting because that's not always, yeah, it's just too much. Sometimes that's not too much soap though. I don't know if it's just the paint that we're dealing with today or what. But you know, the car can definitely make a difference on your solution. You have to adjust it accordingly. Because 12 is not out of the question. I mean, I've used 12 and not had these issues with it. So 12 milliliters of the next generation or 7th generation just soap per gallon. Okay. Now, if you do wipe this down, because we were getting that chicken skin, you don't want to move the film at all. So we're just gliding over the surface of it. Okay, and we did get everything out of there, so that looks great. All right, let's get some slip on there and we'll go all the way over to this black part here. I keep just calling it a black part because I don't know what it's called. I want to keep calling it like a cowling or something. It's not like a scoop, it's not a vent. You know, normally you just go over to the hood scoop. I don't think it's a scoop. It's not scooping anything. Okay, just going over this one more time, very gently. And we have a big hair in it right here. So let's lift that up and let's get that out. I cannot tell. Oh, I think it's right there. I think it might be on my finger. Okay. And then let's get some tack in here. Let's push this out and then just make sure you're keeping an eye out for that hair while we're doing this. Hey. Okay, That's gone, so we'll hope that that came out on my finger. And I'm being gentle, even though we did use Tack solution this time, so we shouldn't end up with any chicken skin, and we're not. Okay, let's get Tack solution in this edge. Okay. Okay, let's deal with this front now. Okay, I'm gonna pull this back, which is not hard to do. And we'll get some more slip in here. Okay, let's see. So we can pull up on this just a tad, just a little bit. There's a lot of moisture in here now, so I'm actually gonna pop, well, it's almost all the way down there on this part. I think I'm just gonna pop this up right here, but that could leave a little distortion in the adhesive, so I don't know that, I wouldn't recommend that. But I'll work that out if I have to with some hot water. So I'm gonna be just pushing all my water over into that area now, all my excess, and letting it go out right there. All right, let's take a look at this now. I don't think we have to make it all the way back, but let's try. And so let's get some tack on this edge. And actually, let's just put some tack in this whole area because we've been dealing with that chicken skin and we don't want to. Okay. A little mist on top here. And then we can go ahead and pull this back a little bit. I'm going to pull back with my whole arm, and I'll come up right up like the middle here. And then I said I was going to take all the slip out that side, but that's not happening now. Okay, and I'm going to just push this over a little bit further, and that needs to be a pretty straight line, so I'm just going to do a straight line like that. That way we know if it's a wavy line, then we're just going to have to move everything that way to make sure we can't do this and drag, because we're going to go through those little areas that are pushed over too far. So I want that to be a nice and straight line. Okay, make sure to get all the way under the wherever the slip solution has gone down and pulled up. Okay, and then the reason I've got my card here, squeegee turned around here, is because I want to hit that edge with it. Okay. Let's see. Just get a little bit more tack in here. Great. And let's get this pushed back out again, up to there. And let's see about this now. What does this want to do? I think this is going to be interesting. Let's get all the way, everything pushed out up to like here, and see if we can get that to stay stuck down. We can go right and do like a little bit of a swipe and hold, just very light one on that edge where it does the contour. And then we want it, oh, nope, did it just come back? I can't, yep, it did, okay. Get another mist on here. So the water wants to continue to pool up in here, which makes sense. I'm not sure how to get rid of that. Seems like it's off of this part now, which is good. There's a tiny little, I don't know, it looks like a air/water pocket there. I'm trying to work that up and out. Okay. Yeah, like this is okay. This is a little bit of a headache, leaving this till last, but I also feel like, what else are you gonna do? Now let's do this real quick. Okay, let's see if that was long enough. We don't need the moisture. I'm gonna try propping this up just a little bit higher too. Like, we do not need stuff going underneath there and then coming back out. That could be a real nightmare. You know, I pressure wash the snot out of it, but not good enough to know that everything back in there is sweet. Okay, I'm just double checking this. Let's get this out into this recess as well. Now, I really left a little bit of chicken skin right there. I'm just real irritated with this chicken skin problem today. Kind of pissed off at myself, really. I don't know why it's doing this on this paint, but it is. All right, let's try squeegeeing that out now, because we don't know that whatever I just moved into there, we don't know how much of that is soap and how much of that is Tack solution. We do know that it's not sticking down good, so it's not a lot of Tack, right? The other thing we could do is just add a bunch of water in here. Okay, so let's see if we can work with that. Is there a way to get this to go down and just keep following it with our finger until we get to the end here? No. This is a very interesting circumstance to be in here, situation, and I don't like it. I don't like what we have going here because there's a lot of tension and it's just going to want to keep popping up, and I'm not sure exactly yet how I want to work this down. I did not anticipate this being such a problem. I think it's kind of, let me make sure we're not leaving anything out here. Okay, that looks good. I mean, that's just gonna continue to want to pop up, and even if I get this down and some moisture comes around like this, it's gonna let all that air back in again. And let's see if we use some water in there and we just get this really rinsed out so that it's much tackier. All right, so we do keep a keg here for putting everything up on the peel boards of just straight water. Okay. Oh, it just pulled it right back up out here. Yeah, it's just way too soapy. Geez, this is my first time, and my first time doing paint protection film ever. Okay, let's go ahead and squeegee this stuff all out again. Okay. And then let's see what we can do now a little bit of mist on there. Push this down like this. Oh yeah, you see that? That water in there made all the difference. This stuff wants to stick now, but we need to be pretty quick about this because having this stuff just continue to pop up like this is going to leave lift lines, and we don't want that. We need to move fast, okay? So get this stuff down and don't let it continue to pop up. So let's make sure that that's all pushed out. We didn't leave any moisture behind. We don't want that coming up like that because that is going to leave a mark eventually. And we need to get this down quick because we're gonna keep stretching it, right? In order to get it to go down in here, it's gotta stretch a little. And well, if this stuff starts to stretch here after it's tacking, then that's when you leave stretch marks. So get a good pass on that. And let's squeegee this stuff out. Let's just double check. Okay, let's push this stuff out now. We need to bring a little bit of this back up because we do have a good sized finger there. I don't know if that's soap or what that is. This is crazy talk. But this is an interesting area. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get this down. I want to break that finger up a bit. Perfect. Okay, let's get rid of some of that water. Well guys, I'm sorry about this. This is a little bit messier than I anticipated this install would be. Just because, I mean, actually I would anticipate that none of my installs were this difficult. But I'm kind of having a tough time here. Kind of a little bit getting my butt kicked. And you know, I prefer, since I know what I'm doing, to show you guys the way to get this done and the way to get it done the easiest, and I feel like we're not doing that today. So sorry about that, but let's show you how to deal with this now that we are where we are, because I have to get this done anyway. Okay, all right, well, I mean, you know, just feeling for any water left behind, which there shouldn't be any, but just feeling for that anyway. Let's get rid of that extra. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of this now. So I'm just going to start by putting a bunch of water in there because we know we've got too much tack. This is going to bump into that a little bit maybe. Okay, and then let's get rid of some of that. Okay, let's start. Let's just get this down right here, like that. We let that sit and relax enough. No stretch marks. Let's make sure that we're off of this face here. Great, and then let's get everything into the recess now. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of go back, double check all this, make sure that we're not leaving any water behind, because that would just be adding insult to injury, wouldn't it? Okay, that out. Get this part down. Okay. Let's go ahead and push this down again. And we need to make sure that we got everything pushed out. We'll get some tack on this edge. I'll push this down one more time. Now that should stay down. And then let's get this down now. Okay, let's make sure that we got everything pushed out. Okay, now let's work this down right here. Okay, let's get rid of some of that soapy water. It should just be all tack or water by now, but I'm sure it's not. Okay, and let's dry some of this out. Make sure we didn't leave any soapy water or tack solution behind. Great. Let's get these little fingers down, which I think we're going to just need to trim this, because as I was looking at before, it looks like this is actually going underneath this a little bit on this spot, and then this spot right here is landing and ending in where the paint is chipping, and that isn't going to want to stick to that. All right, so the only areas we're having any problems is in these corners right here where the paint is chipped off of the hood. And that's where this material is wanting to continue to pop back up. So we're gonna go ahead and trim that now, because we don't want this to continue to pop up like that, because it's just gonna leave worse and worse marks out here. Okay, so let's find this edge, which feels like, oh, it's like way back there. So I'm going to start way back here. Okay, let's try that. See what we can do here. Okay, there we got it to come up right there. I really need tweezers again. I'm gonna tear that right there like that, so we can come forward with this one and back with the other one. That's a pretty good gap now. I would have liked to have been a little bit closer than that, but it kind of matches up with what's back there, so we're in fine shape. Let's go ahead and push this back down. Okay, and then we'll dry this edge out. Okay, yeah, I mean, look at all that paint that's popping off right there. And I haven't got any of that stuck underneath the paint protection film, so I know that it's not coming off right now, it's just already off. Okay. Okay, let's try. I have to come all the way back to here. I'm going to do that sawing motion gently. Okay, let's see if when I did the sawing motion on this, I went through this at all. Not really. Okay, that's going to be... Okay, bring this rest of this back this direction. I'm gonna grab my tweezers here. All right, I'll go ahead and push this down again. We need to really get some slip solution on here. Oh, there's that hair on the edge. Let's see if I can drag it out of there. Gosh darn it. Okay, so I'm just grabbing that hair and then pulling it away from there. I mean, we need that out of there. All right, I'm just gonna pick this back a little bit. And the hair is loose in there. It was moving around when I was picking at it. All right, we should either spray it out or push it down. Okay, it looks like just pushing it down is good. We got that out of there. Okay, great. All right, so now what we need to take care of is going to be all these edges here that are wanting to come up just a little bit. We need to go ahead and pre-wrap this hood. So let's get this stuff blown out. You can use, I'm gonna be using just water today. But you could, Tack solution is a really good thing to use. All right, so I just sat down and had a little snack and thought about why that hood was so tough. Why could that have been so difficult? Why was I getting chicken skin when I don't ever get that? And is this on? Yep. And then why was this so soapy? And why were things just not sticking? What the heck was going on? Distilled water. So when I'm working right here, just know I'm thinking about it right now because I got it figured out. Distilled water is definitely the problem. So we reuse the jugs over and over again until the jugs break or leak. And all of our jugs were broken or leaking, so we bought new jugs with distilled water. That means you need a lot less soap, a lot less, like maybe even cut it in half with distilled water. I should have been down at 7 milliliters at the most per gallon, and I was at 12. That's all it took to make that difference. was distilled water. The water is so pure that it needs less soap to work with the film. Oh, that was painful. Gosh. I mean, that was a rough go. I haven't had my butt kicked like that in a while. I was just doing that and I was like, you know, we're on video and I'm just like, why? I don't even know what's going on here. Why is this so difficult? What is taking so long here? Why am I just getting wrecked over this? Now I know. Now you know. As that's not normally, that's not the water we make here. We don't make distilled water. And if you're using some water, make sure you stay with the same stuff, because you would think it doesn't matter, but you just saw what happened. You watched it happen, and that's all it is. That was the difference. And I was sitting there while I was eating, just thinking, you know, it's like, gosh, why was that so tough? That's crazy. That was really difficult. I mean, I really got my butt kicked on that. That doesn't make any sense. Now it does. I mean, that took forever. I'm just gonna say it took forever. I should have had that done in no time, and that was just miserable. What are you gonna do? Okay. So I'm purified water is what we're using. So when I go buy water, it's usually just purified. And this time I didn't buy it. It was distilled, which is fine. You just have to know for your slip solution, for your amount of soap you're gonna put in there. And I didn't pay attention, dumped it in, put my regular amount of soap in, and voila. There you have what happens. Okay, so we're just pre-wrapping this. I just want to go home. I'm so beat now. You guys ever, it's one of those days now, you know, I just having one of those days where it's just really rough. I just feel exhausted. I can't lose my cool. I can't lose my cool on camera. I was just trying to get it done. I wasn't gonna lose my cool anyway on that. I was just trying to get it done. You just gotta fight and fight and fight until you win. Yeah, oh, you're not out of here. All right, so we'll just finish wrapping these around. So this is just a pre-wrap. Basically all that means is we're trying to get our finished edge for today off of the face and kind of off the side. We prefer it to be on the bottom, and we're just getting as close as we can to having that wrapped to underneath. Before I go home, I will push these down again, and then I'll probably be, I don't know, I'm guessing I'm gonna finish wrapping this tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. Okay, so just keep good pressure on this as you're going around this edge, because you want to move any moisture or air that's on this edge around to the bottom, and if you don't keep good pressure, you're going to leave water and air pockets behind. There? Okay. Oh, put the pressure underneath. Do I put the pressure? It's like so I can hold it on the underneath edge. Okay. Whew, I need a nap after that. If I was a drinker, I'd want a beer after that. Get on out of here. Get on out of here with that. All right, I'm gonna let that sit, and I'll bring you back later when we go to wrap those edges underneath. All right, let's go ahead and heat seal the edges on this hood, and then this thing should be ready to go home. Oh, well, actually I still have to the black part on the hood I still have to heat seal as well. That'll be a different video though. So not ready to go home, but the hood will be ready to go home, I guess. Not the whole hood though, because that is part of the hood. I'm starting this corner here. Just warm up that corner that we have hanging over just the tiniest bit. It only wraps around to about right there, so just off the top, and you're not going to really be able to see that edge, which will be nice. All right, I'm going to come underneath. I could open, yeah. Yep. Nope. I'll come get it. Okay. Bye. All right, so I'll keep recording this, but a buddy of mine's here and we're gonna chat. So we'll go to some music and you can just watch me do this if you want. All right, that's the process of installing paint protection film on the hood of this 2022 Chevy Silverado ZR2. If you want to get wrecked. All right, don't ever forget, there's a big difference between distilled water and purified water. So there's that. If you guys learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. I know I learned something during this video. I relearned something. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. I mean, if you made it to this point, holy moly, you watched me suffer through some stuff. That was rough, really rough. But I appreciate you guys taking a look. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.